Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. And today we are taking a look at what a potential trade could look like for Pierre Luc Dubois here in 2024. There's always the trade rumors, it seems like every summer, about Pierre Luc Dubois ending up in Montreal. And with how his season went this year with the Los Angeles Kings, there's definitely some speculation about some things that could happen here for Dubois, so we're going to go over that today. So, first thing is the Los Angeles Kings side of things, because, obviously in the title you could see there are two teams here that are in the conversation. I gave a mock trade, which you guys are about to see in a second, and kind of breaking down why I think that this could work. So the first possibility I need to throw out there, none of this matters if the Kings buy him out. I don't see the Kings doing that, though. I think realistically, he is either going to get traded or he's going to stay. I think the trade situation comes down to if there's anybody that wants to trade for him. And we know that the Montreal Canadiens have shown interest in the past. And if he went into the free agent market a couple years back, he probably would be a Montreal Canadien right now. And we know that the Canadiens and their fans love their French-Canadian players. And this is as good a time as any for the Montreal Canadiens to scoff up Dubois, because if he goes off and has a great season next year for the Kings, he probably won't be available next summer. But there is definitely reason to believe right now he is definitely available and up for a trade. But the question is, what's the price? And the thing with Dubois is he did not have a good season, to say the least. And the problem is, listen, he could get away with a bad season when he was younger. He's young. He's not there right now. He's not playing his best. But when you're making $8.5 million, that doesn't fly anymore. He's making too much money to not be producing. And for the Los Angeles Kings, who might be looking for a shift of their team and their roster, this seems like as good a time as any to maybe trade him. And technically, on July 1st, his situation is going to change a lot, because he is no longer going to be tradable. He's going to have a full no-move clause. So that might not matter ultimately if he does want to go to Montreal, which we've heard a lot. And you look there, the first year, full, he could get traded anywhere. And like I said, July 1st of 2024, there is a full no movement clause, which, like I said, would it matter if he wanted to play for the Canadiens like we always hear? But that is another factor that could put a hurdle into a potential trade. So the actual trade itself, that's what you guys are here for, right? So let's just look at it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you agree or disagree. I'm sure there will be plenty of attention to this one. So basically, just to break it down team by team. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So Pierre Luc Dubois goes to the Montreal Canadiens. 10% of his salary 10% of his salary is retained, which is, what is that? I think that's only, $200,000, whatever. 10% of his salary retained. And then going the other way, Montreal trades Kirby Dach and Winnipeg's first round pick, which at this point looks like it's going to be anywhere between pick 16 and 20. So that's a middle first round pick, Kirby Dach for Dubois. So you may be asking yourself, if you're a Kings fan, that's it? And if you're a Canadiens fan, you're probably thinking, that much? So here's what I'm thinking. First of all, the salary retention. So his initial cap hit is $8.5 million. So in this scenario, $1 million off the cap hit comes off. So that, I would say, at 7.5, that is a lot easier to stomach if I'm a Habs fan, for a guy that was a third overall pick, projected to be a top 6 center. That's not bad in terms of a price. And it's Kirby Dach. So Kirby Dach sucks to lose if you're Montreal, but you already have a ton, in my opinion, a ton of players that are like Kirby Dach. Now, if Kirby Dach is your bread and butter, that is your future star, well, then if you're Montreal, you have to look at it this way. Kirby Dach is probably, he's probably a third line, second line center, but so is Dubois. So why are we trading a middle round, first round pick for this guy? Because of the upside, I think, of Dubois is still higher than Doc. Now, that I think you could say that first round pick is interchangeable with other assets. Montreal could trade their first round pick, which would be potentially a top 15, top 10 pick, depending on where the lottery system lands for the Canadiens, okay? So there's that. Could they trade another prospect? People were saying online, like a Caden Gooley and Kirby Dach for Dubois. I think that's too much. Caden Gooley should probably stay with the Habs. He had a really good season. I would be more willing to trade that middle round pick and Dach in order to get Dubois than trading another prospect, right? So that's kind of why I have that mindset. You also have Sean Farrell. You have a couple of other young centers we saw come down the stretch that, yeah, they're not Kirby Dach, but if you're getting Dubois in return, well, maybe that makes that pain a little bit less, and you're not getting Dubois at that full $8.65 or $8.5 million cap hit. There's obviously a level of risk here for the Habs, right? Because the expectations for Pierre Luc Dubois coming in are going to be extremely high, and he has not met expectations over the last couple of years. And kind of one of the things that Dubois said was, usually in my second season, I tend to do better. That was kind of the case in Winnipeg. He played better in his second year than his first year, right? And you're kind of hoping for something similar next year with the Jets, but there's no guarantees. And you look at his career, he does have 342 points in 516 games, which in a sense isn't that bad, right? 27 points in 43 playoff games, but when you're paying a guy $8.5 million, you're expecting more from that. And until this guy is a proven 60 to 80 point getter each year, I don't know. Is it worth trading Dach and a middle of the first round pick for this? I don't know. But that might be the price if you want to get the deal done. Now, salary wise, technically, you could just trade the first round pick for Pierre Luc Dubois and the deal's done. I do think teams would be interested in Dubois, though. In all honesty, I think teams will be out there, so you might have to give up a little bit more than maybe his actual value, because I do think teams are going to be looking for a guy like Dubois to come in. That's just my take, but I think teams will be looking at that direction. And we look at the value of centers in the NHL. There is an extreme amount of value on these guys, and I think enough GMs will be looking at Dubois saying, we might be able to get him for fair value because his value might be lower right now. We might actually get him even with competition, and the fact he had a bad season, the market value might actually come out when it's all said and done. The actual value for what we're trading him for is actually worth it. I think that's what ultimately is going to come down here. I want to know what you guys think, though. What do you guys think of that potential deal or something similar to it, right? My prediction is it would be Kirby Dach and the Jets' first-round pick. For Dubois, 10% salary retained, that's $1 million. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree, disagree, too much, too little value? I'd love to know what you guys think, as always. Guys, if you want to check out our merch, the merch link is in the description down below. So if you want to check out our Goal Line Hockey community merch, that's down below. Of course, if you would like to become a member of the channel, the membership, it is a monthly membership to help support the channel, pay for my Taco Bell, and of course, keeping the lights on. All of that supports that initiative. So thank you so much as always, guys, and I will see you again next time. Peace out, guys.